Hello, welcome to the first unit, that is immune system, infection and immunity. I have already posted the syllabus. This is the slide which shows you what are the different points which are to be studied in this unit. So the point which is being marked with red, I think that is not you will not find in the syllabus, because these points are supposed to be incorporated new. So otherwise all other things are same. So first thing is structure and function of leukocyte. Let us talk about structure and function of leukocyte. See, whenever we talk about immune system, infection and immunity, this is basically the interaction between the infectious microorganism and the host, that is the individual. Now the one who is more stronger, accordingly the result will be there. But the immune system or immunity as such, what an individual shows depends on the immune system of that individual. How strong the immune system is working determines the resistance level of an individual, and the functioning of this immune system is basically dependent on variety of factors. Among them, one of the most important factor which determines the immune system or functioning of the immune system resulting into the resistance level, how it influences, is the leukocyte. Now let us talk about structure and function of leukocytes. Leukocytes, you are well aware with this terminology. Leukocytes, this in a local term we call them as WBC, or soldiers of our body, and they are playing very important role in destroying the foreign antigen, whether living or dead, which enters in our body either deliberately or by chance. There are different types of leukocytes which are differentiated on the basis of their structure and function. We will also be talking about the leukopiosis, that is how these leukocytes are developed and how they function. We will also talk about different functions of the leukocytes, different types of leukocytes and their function. Normally, as I stated, the cell responsible for immune response, which basically are important, they are forming a part of lymphoreticular system. Now this lymphoreticular system is responsible for, or is determines rather, you can say, the immune response of an individual, and this lymphoreticular system, these are widely distributed in different organs and tissues of an individual. At large, when you talk about the lymphoreticular system, it includes basically two arms, that is lymphoreticular cells and phagocytic cells. The lymphoreticular cells and the phagocytic cells, these basically constitutes lymphoreticular system. Now when you talk about lymphoreticular cells, it includes lymphocytes and plasma cells, and these are primarily responsible for development of specific immunity. Specific immunity, when you say specific immunity, it is a resistance level which an individual develops against a specific pathogen or specific antigen. So that is masterminded by these lymphocytes and plasma cells. Whereas when you talk about phagocytic cells, which is the other arm of lymphoreticular system, it includes two major cells. One is polymorphonuclear leukocytes, which is normally referred as PNL, and macrophages. These two are referred as scavenging cells because they are having scavenging functions or cleaning function, and these are well known for eliminating microorganisms and other antigenic particles that gets entry into blood circulation, and these antigenic particles, these are being targeted by these phagocytic cells and these are removed from the circulation. This offers non-specific immune response. So that is difference between lymphoreticular cells and phagocytic cells. Lymphoreticular cells develops the antibodies or specific lymphocytes against a particular antigen, leading into specific immunity, whereas phagocytic cells may be polymorphonuclear leukocytes or macrophages. These mop up the antigenic material in circulation, clean the blood, and responsible for non-specific immune response. As I stated, when you talk about leukocytes, which we normally refer as WBC, these are two types, agranulocytes and granulocytes. Agranulocytes are of two types, lymphocytes and monocytes. These are the percentage which are found to be which are considered as normal percentage found to be present in the blood of an individual, and these are granulocytes. The difference between granulocytes and agranulocyte is that in agranulocytes there are no granules in the cytoplasm, whereas in granulocytes there are granules in the cytoplasm. All these leukocytes, they are different from one another based on their structure, nucleus structure in all these leukocytes is different. For example, if you take an example of neutrophil, which is a abundantly found leukocyte in the blood, it is around normal concentration is around 45 to 75%, and the nucleus is multilobed, therefore it is also called as polymorphonuclear leukocytes. Eosinophil is bilobed nucleus, this is you can say kidney shaped nucleus, whereas in case of monocyte it is horseshoe shaped nucleus. Right, and in case of lymphocytes, there are two types of lymphocytes, small lymphocytes and large lymphocytes. Small lymphocytes have small cytoplasm, large lymphocytes have large cytoplasm, and these lymphocytes again basically these are two types, that is what you can say B cells, T cells and natural killer cells. There are three types: B cells, T cells and natural killer cells. You can see this you can say better classification in chart, flow chart. This is lymphoreticular system consisting of lymphoid system and reticular system. Reticular system consists of phagocytic cells that are concerned with the scavenging function, as I stated just, whereas lymphoid system includes lymphoid cells, lymphocyte, plasma cells and lymphoid organ. We will not talk about this in lymphoid organs, but you should know that there are two types of lymphoid organs which are responsible for development of a resistance level in an individual, or you can say immune response. So primary lymphoid organ and secondary lymphoid organ. Primary lymphoid organ are also called as central lymphoid organs. This includes thymus and bone marrow. Primary lymphoid organs are the organs in which precursor lymphocytes proliferate, develop and mature. So these are two organs, bone marrow and thymus. In bone marrow, B lymphocytes develop and give rise to the plasma, further development into antibodies, whereas the T cells, T lymphocytes develop in thymus, get mature in thymus and get differentiated into different types of T cells, that is T helper cell, T cytotoxic cells, T suppressor cells and so forth. Whereas peripheral lymphoid system or peripheral lymphoid organ or secondary lymphoid organ, this includes lymph nodes, spleen and MALT, that is mucosa associated lymphoid tissues. Among these, spleen is the largest lymphoid organ. So these are the organs which are there. As far as cell of lymphoreticular system is concerned, as we have talked about, lymphocytes are there, natural cells are there, no, sorry, null cells are there, phagocytic cells are there, and dendritic cells are there. These phagocytic cells and dendritic cells, these are scavenging, having scavenging activity. When you talk about lymphocyte, as I stated, two types of lymphocytes are there, T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes, depending upon in which organ they are developed and matured. The lymphocytes which mature in thymus, they are called as T lymphocytes, and which mature and develop and mature in bone marrow, these are B lymphocytes. T lymphocytes basically, when you talk about immunity, these are responsible for cell mediated immunity, whereas B lymphocytes develop into plasma cells, and further these plasma cells get converted into antibody forming cells, and therefore these are mostly involved in antibody mediated immune response or humoral immune response. When you come to these phagocytic cells, as I stated, which are having the scavenging activity, these are of two types, macrophages and microphages. Macro and microphages, these are having important functions. I think we should stop here, so that further we will be talking about other aspect